Is your resume just screaming into the void? You have poured years, maybe even decades into your career, right? Built up this mountain of experience. And what do you get? Crickets. It's a startling fact that nearly 99% of Fortune 500 companies use applicant tracking systems. Think of them as AI gatekeepers to scan your resume before a human ever even sees it. And if you are a mid-career professional, that AI can feel like a seriously biased bouncer at the career club you know you belong in. It's a tough pill to swallow in today's job market, especially when you are trying to figure out your next move mid-career. You're not fresh out of college, easily fitting into neat little boxes. You've got a rich, maybe even wonderfully varied history of roles, projects, and big wins. But how on earth do you translate all that amazing experience into a language these AI systems can actually understand and, more importantly, value? It's a super common frustration, feeling like your resume, the very thing that's supposed to open doors, is just hitting a digital brick wall. You're not just sending out an application, you're basically wrestling with an algorithm that might be completely missing your true potential because your story isn't packaged for its picky, often hidden checklist. This isn't just about landing a job, it's about being recognized for the seasoned pro you are. And that fear is real. What if your extensive experience, instead of being your biggest asset, gets you filtered out before you even get a chance to shine? Seriously, think about it. All those late nights, the challenging projects that you championed, the teams you led, the results you delivered, all of it just squashed into a pass fade by a machine that can't truly grasp nuance. For us senior and mid-career professionals, this stings even more. You're likely looking for roles that demand that very nuance. Leadership, strategic thinking, complex problem solving, skills that are pretty tough to just list as keywords. Maybe you're trying to pivot into a new field and the AI just can't connect the dots from your past successes to this new direction. Or maybe, just maybe, there's that nagging fear that AI and maybe even employers will see your years of experience not as a strength, but as, well, outdated. It's enough to make you want to throw your hands up and think the whole game is rigged against experienced talent. You might feel invisible, like your value isn't being seen, just lost in a massive pile of applications that seem to favor easily digestible bullet points over proven, hard-earned expertise. And the cost, it's not just a missed job opportunity, it's that slow chipping away at your confidence, that feeling that the rules have changed and nobody bothered to tell you. And with AI in recruitment only set to grow, this challenge isn't vanishing anytime soon. But what if I told you there is a way to crack this code? A way to get your resume seen, and sometimes an even smarter way to bypass the pile entirely. It's not about trying to trick the system, it's about understanding it, using the knowledge to spotlight your unique mid-career value, and recognizing that the ultimate strategy might involve getting directly to the decision makers. Today we are diving into the mid-career secrets that will make your profile irresistible to both the recruiter AI and the humans, and we'll touch on how to create opportunities beyond the standard application process. So section 1, decoding the AI brain, understanding your robotic adversary and ally. So the first secret is getting a handle on what this recruiter AI, usually called applicant tracking system or ATS, actually is and what it does. Don't think of it as some evil robot that hates your resume. Picture it more like a very literal, slightly overwhelmed librarian. Its main job? To sort through a mountain of applications, sometimes hundreds for just one job, and find the ones that most closely match a specific set of instructions, the job description. These systems, at least for now, can't truly understand the subtleties of your career path or your potential for growth like a human can. They are programmed to look for keywords, phrases, specific skills, job titles, and even certain formatting cues. If your resume doesn't speak its language, it might get tucked away for future positions. Yeah, right. Or even worse, just tossed aside, no matter how amazingly qualified you are. Since pretty much all big companies use these, just ignoring them isn't really an option if you're applying online. The AI essentially reads your resume, pulls out information, and tries to categorize it. It's looking for direct matches to keywords from the job description. If the ad says strategic planning, it's hunting for strategic planning. It scans your work history, your education, your skills section, trying to build a profile it can then rank against other candidates. That's why simple, clean formatting is your best friend. Complex layouts, fancy graphics, tables, or weird fonts can totally confuse the ATS, meaning your info gets misread or poof, ignored. For those of us with more miles on the career clock, this means you can't just assume your impressive job titles or the big name companies will do the heavy lifting. The AI needs to see the specific skills and experiences relevant to this exact job, spelled out clearly. Your challenge is to take all that rich experience and present it in a way that's thorough enough for a human, but also super easy for the machine to scan. Think clear and concise. No more than 2 pages, even for mid-career pros. But every single word needs to earn its spot, the keyword goldmine. Unearthing and strategically deploying your treasure. If the ATS is our librarian, then keywords are basically the decimal system it uses. Without the right ones, your resume is lost on the wrong shelf, or maybe even in the wrong library. This isn't about keyword stuffing, just cramming your resume with every buzzword you can think of. AIs are getting smarter and can actually flag that as a bad thing. It's all about smart, strategic integration. In addition to LinkedIn recruiters actively search their ATS databases using keywords specific to the role they are trying to fill. If your resume is missing these vital terms, it simply won't show up in their search results. This is probably the number one reason qualified people get missed by that first AI screening. Dissect the job description. This thing is your treasure map. Seriously, print it out, grab a highlighter, and pick out every skill, qualification, tool, technology, and responsibility they mention. Notice if some terms pop up a lot, and try to use the exact phrasing where it makes sense. Our resume writers use a process called Power of 6 framework. They focus not only on keywords, but also on the context in which a keyword relates to the functions of that role. They would then conduct an extensive interview of the candidate and come up with impactful, outcome-oriented statements that use the keywords in the context of what the employer is really looking for. No AI tool can do this level of personalizations based on a job description. Of course, those interviews also provide additional insights to be used in the cover letter and the LinkedIn profile. Now, think about the common lingo in your field. Also, consider synonyms or related terms. For example, client relationship management and account management. Some newer ATS can recognize related terms, but it's always safer to lean towards the language used in the job ad. Space permitting, it could be a good idea to include both full terms and the acronym, like customer relationship management and CRM. You want to naturally work these keywords into your professional summary, your skills section, and most importantly, your work experience bullet points. So instead of a bullet point that just says manage projects, you might say manage cross-functional projects using agile methodologies, consistently delivering on time and within budget, assuming agile methodology is a keyword they are looking for, of course. Another mid-career angle. You've got a ton of experience, which means you probably have a huge potential pool of keywords. The key is relevance. Don't drag out skills from 15 years ago unless they are absolutely directly applicable to the job you want now. Focus on showcasing keywords that demonstrate leadership, strategic impact, and the kind of specialized expertise that comes with more senior roles. Your resume should be a billboard for where you're headed, not just a dusty archive of everywhere you've been. Section 3. Formatting for robots and humans. The dual-purpose document. Here is a tricky bit. Your resume actually has two audiences, the ATS robot and the human recruiter, and it needs to make both of them happy. So many people make the mistake of creating this visually stunning resume with cool graphics or columns, only to find out they are basically invisible to the AI. ATS software is built to read text in a straightforward, predictable, line-by-line way. Anything too fancy, complex formatting, images, tables, text in headers or footers, or unusual fonts can completely throw it off. If the AI can't read your resume, it can't rank you. But on the flip side, a super boring, purely text dump resume might pass the AI, but then put a human recruiter to sleep. And those recruiters, they only spend a few seconds on that first scan. Keep it simple, seriously. Stick to a clean, single column layout. Standard, easy to read fonts like Arial, Calibri, Helvetica, Georgia are your best bets. Keep the font size readable, usually 10 to 12 points for the main text and maybe a little larger for headings. Standard section headings. Use the boring, common headings like work experience, education, and skills. Don't try to get clever with my awesome journey for your experience section. The ATS is looking for those specific terms to know where to put your information. Bullet points are your best friends. Use clear, concise bullet points to describe what you did and achieved. Steer clear of long, dense paragraphs. Generally send your resume as a PDF unless they specifically ask for other formats. PDFs usually keep your formatting intact and are typically ATS friendly. But some older ATS systems might still prefer a doc. So always double check the application instructions. Let it breathe, white space. Don't try to cram every last bit of information onto a page. Enough white space make the resume much easier for human eyes to scan. And actually help some ATS parsers too. Now the mid-career angle. You have probably got more to say. Resist that urge to shrink the font to tiny type or squeeze the margins just to fit it all onto one page. If you genuinely need to show off your relevant achievements, do that. The name of the game is strategic selection and clear presentation. Focus on the last 10 years of your experience in detail. And you can summarize earlier roles more briefly if they are still important. Your goal is a document that a machine can read and a human will find engaging. One that clearly shows your career growth and impact. Section 4. Storytelling your achievements. The CAR-PAR method for impact, just listing your job duties, that's what junior candidates do. As a mid-career professional, you need to show your impact, and this is where a bit of storytelling comes in. Not long, rambling tales, but short, powerful mini stories within your bullet points. The challenge action result, CAR, or problem action result, PAR, are the methods that are perfect for this purpose. The AI might pick up on keywords, but humans, we respond to stories of achievement. Recruiters want to see not just what you did, but what difference you actually made. Numbers and quantifiable results, they are golden. This approach also naturally weaves in relevant keywords in a way that both the AI and humans can appreciate. For each big accomplishment, try to frame it like this. challenge or problem? What was the tricky situation or problem you were against? For example, face a 15% decline in market share. The action, what specific things did you do? Use strong action verbs here. For example, I spearheaded the development and the launch of a new targeted marketing strategy focusing on untapped customer groups. And then the result. What was the measurable outcome of what you did? Put numbers on it whenever you can. For example, which resulted in a 20% market share increase within 12 months and a 20 million boost in revenue. So instead of responsible for marketing campaigns, try something like revitalize an underperforming product line, which is the challenge, by developing and executing a data-driven digital marketing strategy, the action, achieving a 30% sales increase and capturing 15% more market share within 1 year. That's the result. See the difference? Now, the mid-career angle. This is your moment to really stand out. Your career is packed with these stories. Pick the most impactful ones that line up with the job you're going for. Make sure to emphasize leadership, strategic thinking, how you saved costs, generated revenue, built teams, solved tough problems, all those hallmarks of a truly seasoned professional. Don't just say manage the team, explain how you mentored and developed a team of 10 engineers, which improved our project delivery by 25% and reduced staff turnover by 15%. That shows not just experience, but real valuable quantifiable impact. Section 5, the mid-career advantage. Framing experience, not hiding it. A lot of mid-career folks worry that their years of experience might make them seem overqualified or too expensive. This secret is all about flipping that narrative. Your experience is your superpower, but you've got to frame it the right way. Employers aren't necessarily scared of experience itself. They're more worried about a mismatch in expectations, salary, or whether you will be adaptable. Your resume needs to tackle these potential and often unspoken concerns head on by showing how your seasoned perspective is a huge advantage for this specific role. Companies are increasingly focusing on skills-based hiring, so really emphasize what you can do. Your professional summary is crucial. This is your 3-4 line elevator pitch right at the top of your resume. You need to tailor this aggressively for each and every job. Ditch the generic objective statement. Instead, craft a compelling summary that spotlights your years of relevant experience, your key achievements, and how your skills directly solve the employer's problems, as outlined in their job description. For example, senior project manager with 15 plus years of experience, leading complex IT implementations in the finance sector, consistently delivering multi-million-dollar projects on time and under budget, proven expertise in agile methodologies, stakeholder management, and risk mitigation, seeking to leverage deep industry knowledge to drive the company's named strategic initiatives. You need to show even more value. Cover letter is a perfect place to show your understanding of the company's needs and provide 3 or 4 examples of how your experience is what they need, maybe even going further and stating what they could expect in terms of milestones or deliverables in the first 3 months. Showcase continuous learning. Be sure to highlight any recent certifications, courses, or ways you've been upskilling, especially if it's in a technology or leadership. This helps counter any silly perception that you might be outdated. Emphasize adaptability and modern skills. Use examples from career where you successfully navigated big changes, adopted new technologies, or led transformation projects. This shows you're not stuck in your way. Curate your experience. You really don't need to list every single job you've ever had in a painful detail. Focus on the most relevant and recent roles, usually the last 10 years. Older, less relevant experience can be briefly summarized, perhaps in a separate early career section, if it adds some really important context. Now, for the mid-career angle. This is the mid-career angle. You are not just a collection of past job titles. You are a strategic asset. If you've managed large teams, handled significant budgets, or driven major organizational changes, those are incredibly powerful indicators of what you are capable of. Frame these not as, oh, I am too senior, but as I bring a level of strategic insight and proven leadership that can immediately add value and mentor others. And hey, make sure your LinkedIn profile tells the same strong story as your resume. Section 6, the human handoff, beyond the bot. Remember, the AI is just the first gatekeeper. The ultimate goal is to impress an actual human being. While AI tools are being used more and more, recruiters are also aiming to spend more time on things like building relationships and ensuring a good candidate experience. Once your resume makes it past the ATS, a recruiter or hiring manager is going to look at it. They're looking for a clear, compelling story that quickly tells them if you are a good fit. They want to see evidence of your skills, your achievements, and your potential to fit in with the company. However, the best solution often involves bypassing these initial screens altogether. Clarity and readability. Even after you have optimized for ATS, make absolutely sure your resume is exceptionally easy for humans to read. Use clear language, perfect grammar, and please proofread it meticulously. Maybe even have a friend look it over. Impactful summary. That professional summary at the top is often the very first thing a human reads. Make it count. Achievements front and center. Humans, just like the AI, want to see results. Those CAR, PAR bullet points you crafted, they'll hit home here. Cover letter, if it's an option. While the ATS might not always read it, as I mentioned earlier, a well-tailored cover letter can be your chance to tell a more personal story, frame any career transitions, or highlight specific motivations that a resume just can't fully get across to a human reader. Your LinkedIn profile. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date and really echoes the key messages of your resume. I'll be shocked if any recruiters will reach out to you these days before checking you out online. And now the ultimate bypass. The most powerful strategy is often to get in front of the employer through introductions and networking, effectively sidestepping the AI and even the initial human screeners. An expert career coach can be invaluable in helping you master this art of connection, especially that 38% of openings, some of the best opportunities, are not even advertised. Mid-career angle. For a human reader, your depth of experience, if you present it well, is a massive asset. They'll be looking for patterns of growth, leadership, and significant contributions. Your ability to connect your extensive experience directly to their current needs and challenges is what will truly make you stand out. And when you combine this with direct outreach and referrals, which a coach can help you perfect, you are not just waiting to be found, you are creating opportunities. At the end of the day, they are hiring a person, and a personal introduction can be unbeatable. Feeling a bit more hopeful, a little bit more empowered? That's exactly the idea. Conquering that AI resume abyss is totally doable when you know the right secrets, and even more powerfully when you learn how to strategically go around it. If these insights have been helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe for more career strategies designed for professionals just like you. And please share your biggest resume frustration or success story in the comments below. Let's all learn from each other. Consider how expert guidance could help you master these approaches. Navigate a job market as a mid-career professional, especially with all this AI recruitment tech, can feel pretty overwhelming, but it really doesn't have to be a losing battle. Remember, the Recruiter AI isn't your enemy. It's just a tool. And like any other tool, you can learn to use it to your advantage. By understanding how these ATS systems work, strategically using keywords, formatting for both robots and humans, telling compelling stories about your achievements, and framing your experience as the powerful asset it truly is, you can dramatically increase your chances of getting seen. But don't stop there. The ultimate game changer is often building direct connections and bypassing the digital gatekeepers altogether. So aim to master the art of introductions and networking, allowing your value to be recognized directly. You have the experience, you have the skills, you have the wisdom, and now you've got the secrets to make sure your resume works for you. And the insight that sometimes the best way through is around, opening the door to the next exciting chapter of your career. You've absolutely got this.